So we are out walking this afternoon next to the river, and I was thinking about the subject of, have you ever been a version of yourself that was grieving? And that can happen for a number of different reasons, because seasons in life change and different things can begin and end in unexpected ways, and it leaves us in grief. I know there's been some things in my life that have caused me great grief, and I could have stayed stuck in that grief, and I did let it hurt, and sometimes I do sit with the hurt of grief and just kind of let it hurt. I let my body feel it. I don't let it be trapped in my body, which kind of brings me to being able to pivot out of being stuck in grief through movement. And it could be this. It could be just getting out and walking again, especially in nature. It could be lifting, especially if you're moving through a version of yourself that's like cranky and angry, because sometimes grief comes with anger. And transmuting that grief energy and the energy of anger, like it's either going to get trapped in your body, or you can sort of okay, so we're back to it. So a cute dog, had to have a look. So lifting weights and doing heavy stuff definitely helps transmute angry energy, but do it safely, because you can injure yourself if you're transmuting anger, lifting heavy things. You might not be as present in your mind when you're grieving and when you're angry. But if there's been a version of you that has almost become stuck in grief or stuck in anger, it's like sometimes we can't shift out of it at all, and it becomes our identity. Well, I'm the girl who, and insert identity. I'm the person that this happened to, and insert identity. And then sometimes we have like a bit of a tower moment and just go, well, you know what, that's just not going to do. That I sit in this kind of grief and feeling like I'm a victim to the grief and the circumstances. I've got to somehow pull myself out of this and not be grieving my whole life. I know I'm only speaking from experience, because everyone sits and postures themselves in lives as an individual. And for me, I just decided that I didn't want to be in that identity that was less than beautifully alive, happy and victorious, because otherwise, if I didn't deal with those things, I was just going to die. I was going to just be miserable, and it didn't feel like life. It felt like anything but that. So just switched up the energy, and how I did that was because I was moving my body. And I loved Pilates for that reason, because that method was gentle. It took my whole mind. It reinvigorated trust that I have in my body. Because if I could do that, I could do anything. It reminded me of my intelligence, because it uses the body's intelligence. It reminded me to breathe, and the power of breath and releasing things, as well as contracting and bracing and holding and relief. Yeah. So if you are coming out of grief, or maybe you've just come into it, or a time of anger, first of all, I want to send you love. And then the other bit is just know that when it's time, you can start moving. You can start moving your body, even if it's just walking or stretching. Maybe water work is really beautiful. Breathe, listen to yourself, listen to your body, and be hopeful that you're unconditionally loved and you have hope for your future. So we've come home from our walk around the river, and I wanted to close out the thoughts on finding yourself moving out of grief and anger, a version of you that might be grieving or angry, and doing that, finding yourself moving. And that is, once you get moving, finding yourself moving in a community. And that might be your local gym or pool, in the sauna, in the spa, at the local pool, in the aqua fitness. It could be on the gym floor, talking about how you're lifting your weights and how you're going with growing your quads. It could be, oh, I couldn't hang out there in the hundreds today, I couldn't find my breath. And that's sort of leading into a conversation about what you're eating, and that you're growing your own veggies, and that you've been on a holiday where you went for a hike, and are you going to the hike at the gym that's on the weekend, or like the members dinner. And community and feeling connected is so important to your health. So not only have you found yourself moving, you're starting to establish again that there's less pain in your body, more strength in your joints, a feeling of connectedness. And as you integrate into a community, there's a layer of purpose that all of a sudden, you being in the community is someone who's building that community. So not only have you found this identity of a person who's healthy and looks after themselves and has found themselves moving, that you're a really important part of other people finding themselves moving. And that is a remarkable and very beautiful, healthy way to shift your identity and enjoy your life again.